digital agility, moving beyond Google certification. And I'm going to do my best to watch the chat as well as look at this. But a lot of our teachers in JCPS, especially during this abnormal time, have really taken advantage of becoming certified in different areas. And many people reach out to me and ask about Google certification. So I am a level 1 and level 2 Google certified teacher, as well as a Google trainer. And I started that journey probably about 4 years ago. So today I do want to talk to you, though. There are many more tools and things out there to get your tool belt ready for this next school year. This image is our Educator Agility Triangle. So as you can see, for our teachers, we have basic Microsoft skills, and we have that. We've worked for several years on those basic Microsoft skills, and then we moved into more cloud-based with the Google EDU skills. And also, 4 of our main rocks that we work on in our department is Sphero, Microsoft, and Apple. So we have those different things there, as well as our Google tools. All 4 of those have a certification or a badge program. And then for our teachers that are even more innovative or ready to go to that next level, those programs have Google Innovators, Apple Distinguished Educators, and those are much more difficult certifications and badges to complete. I wanted to show this to you. This shows a graph of JCPS's digital agility. We sent out a survey to all of our backpack teams, so your librarian, your STC, and school digital innovation leader, and we asked them to share it with you. We want to know who in JCPS is certified and what are you certified in. So you can see that looks like the middle school zone is really showing up with their certifications. They had 33% as of, I guess, February, that of their teachers had signed in to say that they are certified in something. And then also on the right, it's kind of small, but what certifications do we have? So in JCPS, out of the over 480 responses, we have 64% of them are Google level 1 certifications, which is awesome. We do have some level 2 teachers, 6 Google trainers, probably not including the digital innovation team, but 6 out in the schools. That's great. 179 Apple teachers. So we are starting to really amp up that digital agility. And I guess I should really say, what is digital agility? What does that mean? Well, we really, as teachers, need to make sure we are training and teaching our students all of the tools that they will need to be successful when they leave our classroom and when they get out into the real world. So not every business or company will need Google tools, but they may need Apple tools. They may need to be able to create with an Apple product, or they may need to be able to create with a Microsoft product. So we really need to make sure that we are teaching our students all of the different platforms to make sure they are also digitally agile for when they leave us in JCPS. So if the teacher isn't digitally agile, it's going to be harder for the students to be digitally agile. I do have a little disclaimer with this presentation. Some of these products that I'm going to talk about have not fully been through the software approval process for student use. However, teachers can use these tools. So just make sure before you go and sign up your students' names and emails for something that you check out this website. It is here for you to check and see what's approved. And if you have a tool that you want to use that is not on that website as approved, go ahead and sign in and request for it to be approved. We have to work on the backside to get paperwork from the companies to ensure that our students' information is safe and their identities are safe. So that's really important. And I know it can be cumbersome and take a little bit of time for us to get that approved, but do know we are working really hard to make sure you have the tools you need for your kiddos. All right, so we have held 2 digital agility type camps. We've had Apple Teacher Camp and Google Camp. And make sure that you check in with your backpack teams in your schools, which are your STCs, your librarians, or your school digital innovation leaders. We send out this information to them in their Google Classroom weekly. So we sent these out. We've had several camps, and they were really well attended. Hopefully, and when we get back to normal here soon, I plan to host more of these. So stay tuned to Twitter as well as PD Central for that. All right, so do you have any certifications or badges? If you're watching, you probably have maybe a couple, maybe some of these on the screen, but you're interested in getting more. So these gorgeous logos, our Apple Teacher and Google Educator, were made by the talented Elaine Abernathy for our department. And I actually have laptop stickers for these. So if you fill out this form, I promise you, I will get you your sticker as soon as things get back to normal. Like I said, we had 480 people already fill out the form, so I'm really excited for that. And I will right now drop this in the chat for you, maybe. And that way you can have it. There we go. So drop that in the chat. Go ahead and fill that out if you have a certification. And if one of them that you have isn't listed, go ahead and do other and type that in as well. So Microsoft Innovative Educator, I'm working towards that now. And level 1, level 2, Google, there's Screencastify, a master screencaster, and Apple Teacher are some of the examples that I have listed here. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through different programs and softwares that have a teacher certification embedded within. So the point of this is, as you go through these different badging or certifications, you are really going to learn how you can use that tool in your classroom. So you are working to better your knowledge. You're becoming more digitally agile because you are learning all of these different tools to share with your students. And then you become a leader in your school. How can you share what you know with your colleagues? So Ozobot is a type of robot. There's a certified educator program for that, as well as Raspberry Pi and Sphero Hero. Sphero Hero only happens, I think it's one time a year. So the digital innovation team will work to get that information to you, but you just have to check back. This presentation is linked on the virtual schedule. And if you click on each of these icons, I have it linked up for you to where you can go straight to that certification. Another one is Minecraft. Minecraft is a Microsoft program that can be installed on PC computers as well as an app for iPads. And if you didn't know, like I didn't a few years ago, there is an education app. So it is free. You do not have to spend the $7 on the app. That app is free on the App Store for iOS. But for teachers, even if you do not know how to use Minecraft, I would still really give that choice to your students as something that they can use to create and show what they know. But they also, if you do want to learn more, they have a badging series as well. And our own Jim Unger, my partner for Zone 2, he, I know, is certified in Minecraft and is more than happy to help you if you have any questions about that. All right, here are some different assessment tools that you can explore and become certified in to better yourself for those formative assessments for your kids. There's Pear Deck and Quizlet Teacher Ambassador, as well as a Nearpod Pioneer. And then Kahoot, you can be certified in Kahoot as well. And with Kahoot, you can log in to get the data, but you don't have to. And that's one that is not approved right now for logging in, for students logging in. And I think that's more of the paid version, but the free version, you don't need to worry about that. You can just create your own Kahoots for your class and give them that code. There's also the ClassKick Ambassador, which is a really interesting one as well that I would suggest you check out if you haven't heard of ClassKick before. All right. Here are some more badges that you can earn. So many of you know about Flipgrid. There's a Flipgrid Ambassador. There's also a Go Noodle Ambassador and Khan Academy. So Khan Academy has become quite popular during this NTI period. You can become a Khan Academy Ambassador and see how you can use their tools to better leverage your lessons for your kiddos. You can become a vocabulary certified educator. So it doesn't say it on that little award, but you can see as I click on it, whoops, there's a vocabulary certified educator as well as an Edpuzzle coach. Edpuzzle is an amazing program that I believe was just recently approved to use for your YouTube videos and ensuring students are watching them and answering questions as they go through. So definitely check out those learning tools. I'm checking out the chat right now. Let's see. Oh my goodness, we have a lot of Zone 2 schools in there. Of course, I have to give them a shout out. Kayla Davis from Foster and Kinderstone is still with us. Heather Mills asked, is Nearpod free? They do have a free version, and I think everything's free right now, it seems like, as far as education tools. But there is a free version, but it does also have a paid version as well. Melinda from Churchill Park, love to see you back again. You've joined us throughout these several weeks. Susan Glenn is here from Blake Elementary Principal. Thanks, Susan, for being here. I'm trying just to make sure I'm not missing any questions. I think we're good. All right, so these learning tools are some that you want to explore. And then also we have some content tools. So a certified National Geographic educator, really cool information there that I've learned actually for my son to be able to read during this time. So I would check out that National Geographic educator. I never knew that was a thing until I started researching the different options. There's also, let's see, the Newzella Educator Center. So if you haven't heard of Newzella, I would recommend checking that out. They have tons of different digital books and reading resources. And then one that's near and dear to my heart is the Smart Exemplary Educator. I am a Smart Exemplary Educator. I actually was able to go to Canada to their headquarters for a whole week and learn from the educators there, Smart Employees teachers. So almost all of Smart's employees are former teachers, and I really like that about the company. And they invite educators, Cs is what we call each other, to apply to go to Canada because they want to hear from educators. They take our ideas to make their program and their software better. So definitely check out that resource, as well as the Smart Learning Suite that we have offered that's in your waffle. If you didn't know that, quick shout out there. Read and Write for Google Chrome. I'm also Read and Write certified. Read and Write is a Google extension. When it first started, though, before there was such thing as Google extensions, it's a software which you can still get as a software to install on a PC or a Mac computer. But now they have the Google extension, which most kids are using. And in JCPS right now, Read and Write has given us free access to that. So we have the full version, and it's been pushed out to students and to their browser. So I really would look into that Read and Write for Google Chrome. We also have a playlist on our channel, jcpsdigitallearning.com, about Read and Write with really quick, short 2-minute videos. All right, so if you were still with us from the KCAN 2, Karen Stone was talking to us about Symbaloo. And I really got involved with Symbaloo several years ago and loved it, but moved away from it more as other tools became available until Karen taught me about the learning path that you can do with Symbaloo. So Symbaloo is just a way to organize information, but especially for primary students, you can have different folders that you want them to go to with different content. But now they even have that learning path where you can put each child on an individualized path for their learning. So Symbaloo, Certified Educator, there's different ones. There's also, who knew, a Remind, a Connected Educator badge that you can earn. Digital citizenship. So Common Sense Media is a great website. I constantly refer back to this website. You can become a Common Sense educator, and I am a Common Sense educator. And from doing that certification, I learned so much about not only what they have to offer, but just other programs and websites that I can use for my kids. So they have digital citizenship as well as websites that they have went through and made sure that they are good for student use. So I would definitely look into this one. There's just so many. You are going to have a full summer filled with learning. All right, creation tools. Here are a few creation tool certifications, a Powtoon ambassador, as well as a certified Soundtrap expert. Soundtrap is a really neat software that you can use for recording audio. And then also a Bunsey ambassador program, that you can look into as well. They are really in the chat talking about their certifications. That's awesome. All right. So when we first started, I asked if you had badges or certifications, and I love how many of you are putting things in the chat about that. One thing I do want to mention with the Google certification exams, they have just recently changed and switched over to a new platform. So if you have a voucher, you are able to register the old way, which is on my website, kreceiver.com. But if you don't have a voucher, and we are currently out of them until next school year, they are moving everything over to ProctorU. So if you are trying to register for the level 1 or level 2 certification exam, you will want to make sure that you look and see, or Google, I guess, ProctorU. I'm going to get my website updated very shortly, so I'll be able to show that to you. But I just wanted to mention that it is a different platform they're moving toward. And I know that several people have had a few problems. I see in the chat that some frustrations about not passing those tests. Let me tell you, if you sat there for 3 hours and took the level 1 Google certification test, you are a rock star. I guarantee you, you learned so many new things, so many new tips and tricks just by going through that certification. So do not be hard on yourself for that. And then also for Apple Teacher. So Apple Teacher is free, whereas our level 1 Google certification is $10. Level 2 is $25. The rest of them that I shared today, those are free certifications. So if you have your level 1 Google certification, awesome. Or if you've taken it, awesome. Maybe you didn't pass. Well, you can start exploring some of these other badges to see how you can really up that digital agility game for your students. So what can you learn over this summer that is something new? Rather than retaking the level 1 Google test, try to get out there and find a new product or software that you can use with your kids. I would urge you to do that. Apple Teacher is linked up on this presentation. It takes you to a quick video that's on our channel that you can check out to see how to go through that process. And Leslie said she's excited about the Apple Teacher. For Apple Teacher, it doesn't take a lot of time. And the great thing is, I think a lot of us, since we are so used to Google certification, we think that we have to sit and take that test for 3 hours. That is not how it works with many of these. So for Apple Teacher, for example, you have to complete 6 badges. And I'm not going to get logged in. I'm on a different browser right now, but you have to complete 6 badges. And if you start one badge, that's okay. You can go back and work on it anytime. So it'll pick up right where you left off for Apple Teacher. And a lot of teachers really, really like that. So don't worry about that. My website is kreceiver.com. And right now my domain is acting silly. I was trying to go to it just now, and I'm having some trouble with GoDaddy, so it hasn't worked very well, but I will get it linked up on this presentation here in just a moment. I thought I had done that. This is what it looks like. It's a Google site. And so on my website, I have my Google certification presentations here with resources and practice tasks for you. If you do want to take the level 1 or 2 tests, you can click down here. And this tells you all you need to know for level 1 and as well as level 2. Like I said, though, level 1, it has just recently changed in the last few weeks. Google must have had some extra time on their hands during this pandemic. But I will get that updated. But level 2, there are some practice tasks for you to do for level 2. And actually, my level 2 just expired. So there you go. I need to retake that. I'm no longer a level 2 educator. I need to retake my exam. They only last 3 years because, as we know, Google changes so much. So that is my website. And I will, like I said, be updating that. Actually, here in the next few weeks, I'm going to update it and get the Apple Teacher and some more digital agility things on there for you. And I will link up this on the presentation. I know Amy was just asking. I'll link it right here well, I can't do it because I'm on view, but I can link it right there. So I'll get that linked for you. Let's see. Any other questions before we go to our next presenter? Thank you, Leslie. I'm glad you liked the website. You're very welcome. Matt Bulka said Apple Teacher is probably one of his favorites because of how short the quizzes are. And I agree. You don't need 100 questions, right, from our students to find out if they know the content. So with Apple, there are 6 different badges and only 5. Michael Reynolds from the chat. I think the top 3 to work on for sure would be Screencastify. I think you can become a Screencastify educator because you can learn how to use that app and that software if you don't already know how. Also, I do think it is good to become a Google certified educator. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's great, but I just wanted to make sure you know there are many more. So Google certification is good, and it's going to be a toss-up between Apple Teacher and Microsoft, actually. I know you're probably shocked to hear me say the Microsoft, but just wait. Next school year, we're going to have a lot more things with Microsoft. We were able to actually meet with some of the Microsoft team and learned a lot of cool tools that they have as well, such as their immersive reader extension. So those would be my top ones. Thank you so much for all of the compliments in the chat. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me on Twitter @KReceiver or email me, and I will be happy to get back with you.